A car rolls across my front yard. Then another. Then a third. I step onto my porch, staring at the fresh tire tracks cutting across my grass. What the hell is going on? An SUV parks beside my mailbox like it belongs there. A couple climbs out, laughing as they walk toward the neighborhood clubhouse. I raise my voice. "Excuse me, you're on private property." The man points toward a brand new sign planted near my driveway. "Guest parking." He shrugs. "The HOA says this is for visitors." I look at the sign, then back at him. "No, it isn't." He hesitates. "They told us everyone can park here." They lied. The couple quickly gets back into their SUV and leaves. Before I can pull the sign out of the ground, another vehicle turns in. I stand in front of it. The driver lowers his window. "Move, buddy. This is my land. The HOA says otherwise." I don't care what they say. The driver reverses without another word. Across the street, several neighbors step outside, watching in complete silence. A black luxury SUV pulls up. Victoria Hayes steps out. Perfect suit. Perfect smile. Same look she always wears when she thinks she's already won. Beside her walks Mark Sullivan, carrying a clipboard. Victoria folds her arms. "Ethan, you're creating unnecessary drama." I point at the sign. "You put this on my property. Our survey says this section belongs to the community. My deed says it doesn't." She smiles. "Then maybe your deed is outdated." I laugh once. "That's your legal argument?" Mark flips through his papers. "The HOA has approved temporary guest parking until the clubhouse expansion is complete. You approve stealing my land." Victoria's smile disappears. "Mind your language." "No." She steps closer. "The board votes unanimously." "I never vote." "You're not on the board. I'm the owner." Her voice hardens. "The community comes first. My property comes first." She turns toward Mark. "Record that Ethan refuses to cooperate." I shake my head. "You can record whatever fantasy you want." Victoria points toward the sign. "Guest parking remains open." "No, it doesn't." I grab the metal post and pull it straight out of the ground. Victoria gasps. "You just destroyed HOA property." "No." I toss the sign onto the sidewalk. I remove trash from my yard. Mark immediately pulls out his phone. "I'm calling security." "Call whoever you want." Within minutes, a neighborhood security vehicle arrives. The guard steps out carefully. "Ethan, what's happening?" Victoria answers before I can speak. "He's damaging HOA property and threatening residents." I stare at her. "Really?" The guard looks at the tire tracks, then at the holes where the sign stood, then back at me. "Is this your property?" "Yes." Victoria interrupts. "No, it belongs to the association." The guard sighs. "Do either of you have proof?" "I do." I walk inside for less than a minute. When I return, I carry a folder. Inside are my property survey, deed, county map, and official boundary documents. I hand them over. The guard studies every page. Victoria suddenly loses some confidence. Mark quietly whispers, "Maybe we should leave." She ignores him. The guard finally speaks. "These documents clearly show the property extends all the way to the sidewalk." Victoria crosses her arms. Our attorney disagrees. "Can I see that opinion?" Silence. Mark flips empty pages. Victoria clears her throat. "We don't have it with us." The guard nods slowly. "So right now, the only verified documents belong to Ethan." Victoria refuses to back down. "The HOA has authority over community improvements, not on private land. We're helping homeowners." "You never asked me." "We don't need permission." I step closer. "Say that again." She doesn't hesitate. "We don't need your permission." Several neighbors exchange nervous looks. Rachel Brooks finally walks over. "I heard that." Victoria glances at her. "This doesn't involve you." Rachel folds her arms. "I live here. It absolutely involves me." She points at Ethan's yard. "I watched workers install those signs this morning." Victoria quickly answers. "They were following board instructions." Rachel nods. "Without telling the owner." Nobody speaks. Rachel continues. "I also recorded the whole thing." Victoria freezes. "What?" Rachel holds up her phone. "The workers asked if they needed Ethan's permission." My eyes widen. Victoria's expression changes instantly. "What exactly are you saying?" "I'm saying they knew this wasn't HOA property." Mark's face turns pale. Victoria forces a smile. "You're misunderstanding the conversation." Rachel shakes her head. I have the video. The security guard looks interested. I'd like to see it. Rachel presses play. Everyone stands silently. The worker's voice comes through the speaker. Are we sure this is HOA land? The homeowner isn't here. Another voice answers. Victoria says don't worry about it. Just finish before he gets back. Complete silence. Victoria immediately points toward the phone. That recording is taken out of context. Rachel laughs. There isn't another context. Neighbors begin whispering. One by one, more people walk outside. Within minutes, nearly 20 residents surround the scene. Someone asks loudly, "They really took Ethan's yard?" Another neighbor answers, "I thought it belonged to the HOA." Rachel speaks clearly. So did everyone. Victoria realizes the crowd is turning against her. She raises her voice. "This meeting is over." I smile. It wasn't a meeting. It is now. No. She steps toward me again. "You are interfering with community operations. And you're trespassing." Her jaw tightens. "We'll handle this legally." I was hoping you'd say that. She turns to leave. Before she reaches her SUV, I stop her with one sentence. "Victoria." She slowly turns around. "If one more car parks on my property," I point directly at the boundary line, "I'm calling the police for criminal trespassing." She stares at me for several seconds. Neither of us blinks. Finally, she gets in her SUV and slams the door. Mark follows without saying a word. The vehicles disappear around the corner. The crowd slowly breaks apart. Rachel walks over beside me. "They're not finished." I know. She looks at the ripped-up grass. "They're planning something bigger." I nod. So am I. I pull out my phone. One call. One attorney. One surveyor. If the HOA wants a fight, they're about to have one they never see coming. It's attorney Laura Bennett. "Ethan, I just watched the video Rachel sent me." "So you know." "I do. What's your advice?" "Don't remove anything else. Don't touch anyone. Let them make the next mistake." I nod. They're good at that. They usually are. The call ends. Less than 10 minutes later, a convoy of pickup trucks rolls into the neighborhood. 3 landscaping trucks. One trailer carrying concrete barriers. My stomach tightens. They're back. The trucks stop right in front of my property. Workers climb out wearing bright safety vests. Mark Sullivan walks beside them with the same clipboard. Victoria Hayes arrives seconds later. She points toward my yard. "Start here." I walk straight down the driveway. No one touches my property. A foreman steps forward. "Sir, we're hired by the HOA." "I don't care who hires you." Victoria interrupts. "The project is approved." "It isn't." "It is." "You don't own this land." She smiles. "We'll let the lawyers decide that." The workers hesitate. Nobody moves. One of them quietly asks, "Ma'am, are you sure this belongs to the HOA?" Victoria answers without looking at him. "Yes." The worker looks at me. "Do you own this property?" "Yes." "Do you have proof?" I hold up the same survey packet. "Yes." The foreman rubs his forehead. "This doesn't feel right." Victoria's voice turns cold. "You're being paid to work, not ask questions." The foreman doesn't move. I'm not putting my crew into a legal dispute. Mark steps closer. "The HOA accepts responsibility." I laugh. "No, you won't." Victoria glares at me. "What's funny?" "The lawsuit." Her smile fades. Rachel Brooks walks across the street again. This time she isn't alone. 5 neighbors follow behind her. One of them, James Porter, speaks first. "Victoria, why are there construction trucks on Ethan's property?" "It's community land." James points at my survey. "Then why does every county map say otherwise?" Victoria ignores him. She raises her hand toward the workers. "Continue." Nobody moves. The foreman shakes his head. "I need written confirmation from the county." Victoria's patience snaps. "You work for us." "No." He folds his arms. "I work for the company that hired me. I'm not risking my license." The crew begins climbing back into their trucks. Victoria storms toward the foreman. "You're refusing a direct order?" "I'm refusing a lawsuit." The trucks slowly leave. Victoria watches them disappear. Her face burns with anger. She turns toward me. "You think you've won?" "No, I know you haven't." Without another word, she walked back to her SUV. I expect her to leave. Instead, she opens the rear door. Mark pulls out a roll of yellow tape. My eyebrows rise. "You're kidding." Victoria stretches the tape across my driveway. She ties one end to my mailbox, the other to a temporary metal post. A large sign follows. Area closed. HOA property. I stare at it. You're blocking my driveway. It's under HOA control. No, it isn't. You'll have to park somewhere else. I pull out my phone. Victoria laughs. Calling your lawyer again? No. Then who? The police. Her smile disappears. Officer Daniel Ross arrives 20 minutes later. He steps out of his patrol car and immediately notices the tape across my driveway. What's going on here? Victoria speaks first. This is an HOA matter. Officer Ross shakes his head. It became a police matter when someone blocked access to private property. He turns to me. Mr. Carter, is this your driveway? Yes. Can you prove it? I hand him a survey. He studies every page carefully. Then he walks to the yellow tape. Who installed this? Victoria raises her hand proudly. The HOA board. Under what authority? Our governing documents. Officer Ross looks up. Do your governing documents override county property records? Silence. Mark quietly flips through his binder. Nothing. Officer Ross continues. Do you have any court order allowing you to block this driveway? No. Do you have written permission from the owner? No. Then remove it. Victoria folds her arms. We refuse. Officer Ross doesn't react. Excuse me. This is community property. He hands a survey back to me. I disagree. Victoria points toward the sign. You can't interfere with HOA business. Officer Ross smiles for the first time. I'm not. He grabs the yellow tape himself. With one pull, it tears apart. The temporary sign crashes onto the pavement. Victoria gasps. You can't do that. I just did. You destroyed HOA property. No. Officer Ross points toward my driveway. I removed an unlawful obstruction. Several neighbors begin clapping. Victoria turns bright red. This is harassment. Officer Ross looks directly at her. No, ma'am. What is it then? It's called enforcing the law. Mark slowly steps backward. Victoria notices. Where are you going? He avoids eye contact. I think we should talk to our attorney. You stay right here. But Mark keeps walking. Rachel whispers beside me. He's losing confidence. I noticed. Victoria suddenly points at me again. This isn't over. Officer Ross answers before I can. No. He reaches into his pocket. It really isn't. He pulls out a small notepad. I need your identification. Victoria looks confused. Why? Because I'm documenting this incident. For what? Possible criminal trespassing. The crowd goes silent. Victoria laughs nervously. You're joking. I'm not. You can't charge an HOA president. I can investigate anyone. She finally hands him her driver's license. Mark reluctantly does the same. Officer Ross writes for several minutes. Then he tears off a copy. This is an incident report number. He hands it to me. If anyone enters your property again without permission, call immediately. I will. He turns back toward Victoria. And I strongly suggest no one from the HOA steps onto Mr. Carter's land again. Victoria forces another smile. We'll discuss this internally. Officer Ross shakes his head. No. He points directly at her. You'll obey the law. For the first time since this begins. Victoria has no answer. She gets into her SUV without saying another word. Mark follows silently. The board members drive away. The neighbors remain standing in the street. James looks at me. You think they finally understand? I look at the fresh tire tracks still cutting across my lawn. I slowly shake my head. No. Rachel frowns. You think they'll try again? I glance toward the clubhouse parking lot. Victoria is standing there, watching. She notices me looking. Then she smiles. Not a confident smile. A dangerous one. I know exactly what it means. She isn't admitting defeat. She's planning her biggest move yet. And this time, she isn't coming alone. The next morning, my phone vibrates. Rachel's name flashes across the screen. Ethan. Her voice is urgent. You need to get outside. Right now. I open the front door. 3 tow trucks. 2 HOA SUVs. A flatbed carrying portable concrete barriers. Nearly a dozen board members. Victoria Hayes stands at the center, wearing the same confident smile. She raises a folded document. This is your final notice. I walk toward her. I don't accept it. You don't have a choice. She unfolds the paper dramatically. The HOA has voted to permanently convert this section into community guest parking. I read the first page, then the second. There isn't a single county stamp. No court seal. No government signature. I look back at Victoria. This isn't a legal order. It's an HOA resolution. It has no authority over my deed. It has enough. No. She steps closer. It does. I hand the paper back. It belongs in the trash. Her smile disappears. She turns toward the workers. Start removing the landscaping. The workers hesitate. One man quietly asks, "Ma'am, are you absolutely sure?" Victoria points at me. I'm giving the order. The crew begins unloading equipment. A machine rolls toward my lawn. I don't move. Neither do the neighbors gathering across the street. Rachel is already recording. James Porter stands beside her. Within minutes, more than 30 residents surround the property. Everyone is watching. Victoria raises her voice. Anyone interfering with HOA operations will be fined. Nobody leaves. Instead, someone starts recording from another angle. Then another. Soon, dozens of phones are pointed directly at the HOA. Victoria notices. She doesn't care. Proceed. The machine inches forward. Then, a black SUV stops in front of my driveway. Attorney Laura Bennett steps out. She carries a thick binder. Behind her, another vehicle arrives. A licensed county surveyor. He walks straight toward the property line, carrying professional measuring equipment. Victoria frowns. What is this? Laura smiles. The truth. The surveyor places bright orange markers into the ground. He checks measurements twice. Then a third time. Everyone waits. Finally, he stands up. I've completed the verification. Victoria folds her arms. And the surveyor points directly at my lawn. This entire section belongs to Mr. Ethan Carter. Silence. Complete silence. Victoria forces a laugh. That's impossible. The surveyor hands her an official county map. It isn't. She refuses to take it. Laura steps forward instead. I'll make this simple. She opens her binder. These are the county records. Another page. The original subdivision plans. Another page. The registered property survey. Another page. The HOA boundary map filed with the county. She closes the binder. Every document says exactly the same thing. Victoria says nothing. Laura looks directly into her eyes. You knowingly entered private property. No answer. You installed signs. Silence. You invited strangers to park here. Nothing. You blocked the owner's driveway. Still nothing. You ignored a police warning. The crowd grows quieter with every sentence. Laura takes one final step forward. And today, she holds up Rachel's phone. You attempt to seize private land while being recorded by dozens of witnesses. Victoria's confidence finally cracks. She turns toward Mark. Say something. Mark stares at the ground. I can't. What do you mean you can't? I warned you. You supported me. I supported the first meeting. He shakes his head. Not this. Victoria's eyes widen. You've lost your mind. No. Mark looks around at the neighbors. I've found it. He turns toward everyone. The board never approves taking Ethan's property. The crowd gasps. Victoria spins around. What are you doing? Mark reaches into his briefcase. He removes several folders. I kept copies. Victoria lunges forward. Give those back. Mark steps away. No. He hands the documents to Laura. She flips through them. Her eyebrows rise. This is interesting. She looks at Victoria. Very interesting. Victoria suddenly looks nervous. Laura continues. These meeting minutes don't match the copies sent to homeowners. Rachel frowns. What does that mean? Laura answers loudly enough for everyone to hear. It means someone changes the official records. The neighborhood erupts. What? That's fraud. I voted against this. We never approved guest parking. Voices begin coming from every direction. Victoria raises both hands. Everyone calm down. Nobody listens. James steps forward. Did you fake board votes? No. Rachel points at the documents. Then explain those signatures. Victoria looks at Mark again. You did this. Mark shakes his head. I saved the originals. Laura compares both versions. They're identical. She flips another page. Until the final approval. She holds both copies side by side. This signature is digitally added. The neighbors stare in disbelief. Victoria's breathing becomes heavier. Officer Daniel Ross arrives before anyone says another word. He steps out of his patrol car. I received another call. Laura hands him the documents. You should read these. He spends several minutes reviewing everything. Then he looks directly at Victoria. Did you authorize today's work? Yes. Knowing the county survey says this isn't HOA property, she hesitates. I believed our records. Officer Ross holds up the altered meeting minutes. These? She says nothing. He closes the folder. Victoria Hayes. The entire neighborhood falls silent. You're now under investigation for suspected document fraud, criminal trespassing, and property interference. Victoria takes one slow step backward. This is ridiculous. Officer Ross doesn't move. Ma'am. He points toward the crowd. There are more than 30 witnesses. She looks around. Every phone is still recording. Every neighbor is watching. Nobody is standing beside her anymore. Not even Mark. She whispers, "You all turned against me." Rachel answers calmly, "No, you turned against this neighborhood." Victoria looks at the board members. Say something. One by one, they walk away. Not a single person remains at her side. The workers quietly reload every concrete barrier. The signs disappear. The machines leave. Within minutes, the entire parking project is gone. Laura turns toward me. You have one final decision. What is it? You can settle. She pauses. Or sue. I look across my lawn. Destroyed grass. Deep tire tracks. Broken sprinkler heads. Months of damage. Then I look at my neighbors. Rachel. James. Families who finally know the truth. I shake my head. No settlement. Laura smiles. I was hoping you'd say that. 3 weeks later, the HOA clubhouse is full. Every seat is occupied. Homeowners demand answers. A special vote begins. One issue. One name. Victoria Hayes. The result appears on the screen. Removed as HOA president. The room erupts into applause. Moments later, 3 additional board members resign. A new board takes control immediately. Their first motion is unanimous. The HOA formally apologizes to Ethan Carter. They agree to pay every dollar needed to restore his property, cover all legal expenses, cancel every false notice, create a rule preventing the HOA from entering private property without written permission. As the meeting ends, Rachel smiles. Looks like they finally learned. I look across the room. The new board members are already removing Victoria's old policies from the wall. I nod. They didn't learn because they wanted to. Rachel raises an eyebrow. Then why? I smile. They learned because someone finally refused to back down. The room grows quiet. Outside, my property is mine again. No guest parking. No fake signs. No yellow tape. Just the land that's always belonged to me. And for the first time since this fight begins, no one dares cross the property line.
Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for new updates.